gigabytes to billions of terabytes, data is growing exponentially. But without real-time access to data, most analytics software can't transform data into business-critical insights. Companies need a new way to find answers from their data. Analytics driven by AI and machine learning are here to do just that, automating and augmenting our business processes and quickly analyzing all our data for faster time to insights and better decisions. That's why Oracle Analytics is reinventing analytics in your data-driven world. Answer questions like, what drives employee turnover? Simply right-click Turnover Rate and select Explain. The system instantly finds key drivers impacting turnover. Identify and narrow down categories in the data segments that explain turnover rate and uncover hidden insights. Analytics has never been so easy. Or maybe you're wondering, what is the projected revenue for a product next quarter? It's as simple as dragging revenue and date on the canvas, then generating one-click predictive analytics with a forecast, putting your future into your hands. Maybe you need to know, how does population affect my marketing efforts? But your massive raw data contains only the state where your stores are located. With one click, you're tapping into the power of augmented data enrichment, instantly creating a new column, pulling in the population and name of each city. Zero coding involved. Need to write a report analyzing sales numbers by sales rep or state? Oracle Analytics transforms visualizations into easy-to-understand text using natural language generation. It's dynamic, telling the story of your analytics automatically, updating text immediately as data and visualizations change. No need to take the time to write that report after all. How about a quick, updated view of product revenue en route to your meeting? It's as simple as asking questions of your data through speech on your smartphone or tablet with Oracle Analytics. Natural language interfaces based on AI analyze keywords, instantly serving up relevant, custom visualizations with real-time data to keep you informed wherever you are. It even learns your location and the data you'll need when you get there. Oracle Analytics enables anyone to perform business scenario modeling. Quickly create multi-dimensional models from any dataset and perform what-if scenario modeling with just one click. Quickly see unified metrics across the business with an enterprise reporting solution that's built with security and governance for any business. Connect and analyze all your data and see instant results. Uncover hidden opportunities and improve decisions which optimize business processes and keep you ahead of your competition. Make your terabytes of data work for you and embrace augmented analytics, driven by Oracle Analytics.
Here is what's going on the live stream. So we wanted to make sure that we let people enough time so they could come in. So you'll see a few more things, and then we'll get kicked off, okay?
Data is everywhere. It comes from our environment, our business, even ourselves. Data connects us. But access to data alone is not enough. You need the ability to interpret your data, to make it actionable, to bring the unknown into focus. So you make accurate and informed decisions, faster, turning your data into the opportunity to predict and plan. Machine learning-driven analytics are powered by self-learning technology that constantly improves the more it's used, taking in data from all sources to detect even the slightest anomaly, so the overlooked doesn't become the unexpected. Cloud analytics propels insights to action, increasing the pace of change, so you can evaluate market trends and evolve the business to match the needs of your customers. To focus resources on areas where demand is greatest. Examine the conditions of the environment, understand the behavior of endangered species, and rewrite the script of extinction on our planet. Start making informed decisions based on insights from your data. So planes arrive on time, food is available to those in need, and you anticipate exactly what your customers want. Your data is everywhere. It's accumulating. Now is the time. Start the journey to understand your data. with machine learning-based insights. Guide your business towards limitless opportunities.
In today's data-driven world, the future comes fast. If you're not ahead of the curve, you're risking falling behind. I'm Bruno Aziza, and I'm traveling the world interviewing the brightest minds in data and analytics to explore what they're focused on now, and more importantly, where they're headed next. This is Destination Insight. Hi, I'm Bruno Aziza, and welcome to Destination Insight, the web series where we bring you the best practices from the best customers, the best partners that are succeeding with analytics across the world. This series is designed for you, so make sure you take advantage of comments and questions you want us to ask. We'll be delivering this content for you on a regular basis, so make sure to subscribe. We hope you love the show. This is Destination Insight. For more great interviews and insights, follow us on LinkedIn and YouTube. Thanks for watching.
Ladies and gentlemen, please silence all cell phones and electronic devices. This session is being recorded, so we will not be taking any questions. Please welcome Bruno Aziza, Group Vice President, Oracle Analytics.
All right. Well, welcome to the Oracle Analytics Summit 2019, and thank you for accepting our invitation. I hope you're as excited as I am. Sitting next to you are folks that are as enthusiastic about analytics as you are. And online, we have thousands of people that are attending this session right now. They came from all parts of the world, from Topeka to Tokyo, from Dublin to Dallas, some of my Irish people over here, and Seattle to Stockholm. And together, you represent some of the most innovative companies in the world. We have a common goal. We're here to talk about data, to enable employees to innovate and win with analytics. Today has been designed based on you, based on your feedback. You told us that you wanted to hear from each other. You told us that you wanted to see Oracle Analytics in action. And you told us that you wanted us to create an open and safe environment so you can exchange ideas. So that's what we want to do today. And I'm going to get you started in a minute. Take a second right now. Turn to the person to your right, turn to the person to your left, and make sure you greet them. And if you're online, this is going to be awkward if you're by yourself. But that's the point. The point is the community. This is why we're doing this event. We're doing it for you. And today you can look forward to an action-packed, content-rich agenda that's based on your feedback. Are you guys ready to get this going? Are you guys ready? Yeah. All right. Let's kick this off then. So our next presenter is someone I've known for a very long time. He's been very active in the data analytics space. And he spent over 2 decades working on data analytics problems. Over the next 20 minutes, he's going to talk about our product vision, but also pay attention to some of the key announcements that we're making today. We've got a lot of very actionable things for you. So join me in welcoming to the stage Senior Vice President of Data Analytics, T.K. Anand.
Thank you for joining us at this incredible location where we will be talking about our shared vision for analytics. The force is certainly strong with us. All of my professional life, I've been a data guy. And I can trace the roots of this back to the mid-90s when I was in college studying computer science. And there was this one professor who made a deep and profound impact on me and some of my co-students. He was a really young guy, barely 5 or 6 years older than me. He had just graduated from grad school with a PhD. He taught us the Introduction to Database Systems course. And he inspired this deep sense of curiosity and passion for data and database systems. I knew right then and there I was hooked, and that's when my love affair with data began. And it continues to this day. Unlike many of you here, I'm not a veteran of Oracle or the Oracle ecosystem. I started at this company exactly a year back. When people ask me, why did you join? My answer is very simple. Oracle is the birthplace of data. The most mission-critical systems on this planet run on the Oracle database. Some of the most valuable data on this planet is born in the Oracle database. It's only natural that our customers look to us to help make sense of all of this data. I still remember the first time I visited the Oracle headquarters. I was driving down Highway 101, took the exit, and made my way towards the main campus. And the sight of those magnificent, towering, database-shaped buildings, that was a truly inspirational moment for me. Over the past year, I've talked extensively to our customers and partners. Many of you are here. What I've learned in the process is we have a lot of shared accomplishments that we can all celebrate. At the same time, there have been instances where Oracle hasn't always lived up to your expectations. Over the past few years, during our transition to the cloud, we've inflicted a lot of change upon you, our community. We haven't always listened to your feedback and acted upon it. And we haven't been transparent with you in terms of where we're going. My message to you is, today is a new beginning for Oracle Analytics. I want to wipe the slate clean and start a new relationship with you, the Oracle community, a relationship that is built on transparency, partnership, and trust. I hope you will experience this as the day progresses, and I look forward to engaging with you in the days, weeks, and months to come. The analytics opportunity. Everyone here has a tremendous responsibility and opportunity to make analytics truly pervasive in our organizations and achieve the goal of 100% data literacy. How are we going to do this? We live in a world where data is all around us, and it's growing at a tremendous pace. Data is coming at us from line-of-business systems, social media, devices, sensors, web services, and more. Our ability to synthesize all of this data and turn it into actionable insight for the right individual at the right time and in the right context, that represents the true opportunity. With the advent of cloud computing, we now have the ability to store all of this data at scale at very low cost. And the cloud gives us unlimited compute capacity to be able to process all of this data. With AI going mainstream, we now have sophisticated algorithms at our disposal to be able to crunch through all of this data with little human intervention and extract insights, even predict the future. This confluence of data, cloud computing, and AI is going to drive the next wave of innovation in business analytics. Today, we introduce a new vision for analytics, one that is anchored by three tenets: augmented, integrated, and collaborative. We believe that every aspect of the production and consumption of data insights will be augmented by the power of advanced technologies like AI, machine learning, natural language processing, and more. This will result in a dramatic reduction in the human effort involved, and that will end up putting analytics directly in the hands of the business end user. That's how we will get closer to our goal of 100% data literacy. We believe that analytics needs to be deeply integrated into our users' everyday work experiences. These include mobile devices, productivity and collaboration tools, line of business applications, and more. Analytics also needs to be open and integrated with all of our systems of record. We know that every organization has its systems of record spread across on-premises private cloud environments, public clouds spread across multiple cloud providers. Analytics platforms of the future need to be able to integrate across all of these silos and boundaries. Finally, analytics needs to foster collaboration among all of our users. No individual works with data or experiences insights in isolation. Moreover, this collaboration needs to span all of our lines of business and IT. We can no longer accept a world where IT and business have diverse sets of BI tools that are disconnected from each other. Inspired by this vision, I'm excited to introduce to you the new Oracle Analytics. We have listened to you and your feedback, and based on that, we have dramatically simplified our product offerings under one singular brand, Oracle Analytics. Oracle Analytics consists of 3 core product offerings: the Oracle Analytics Cloud, Oracle Analytics Server, and Oracle Analytics for Applications. Let's dive into each of these. The Oracle Analytics Cloud is our flagship. It is a complete and comprehensive analytics platform that addresses the needs of business users, developers, and IT professionals. It brings the worlds of centralized or governed analytics, self-service analytics, and augmented analytics together into a fluid, integrated experience. The true power of this platform is that it enables integration and collaboration between these different sets of users and use cases. In the area of augmented analytics, we're truly leading the way. To give you just one example, the natural language query capability in the Oracle Analytics supports a multitude of endpoints: Slack, Microsoft Teams, SMS, Facebook Messenger, Alexa, and more. And moreover, it supports a staggering 28 different languages across the globe. Oracle Analytics Cloud is a truly open platform that supports universal connectivity to data wherever it lives, whether it is an Oracle database or a third-party database that lives on premises, whether it is an Oracle application or a third-party application, whether it is data that lives in the Oracle cloud or a third-party cloud. We want to get at data wherever it lives, and we're continuously adding support for more and more data sources. All of this amazing innovation that you just saw in the Oracle Analytics Cloud, we're working to put it together and make it available in a server product that you can deploy on premises in a private cloud environment. Our goal with the Oracle Analytics Server is, once we put out the initial release later this year, put out a new release once every new year going forward. We want to enable you, our customers, to move to the cloud on your own terms. We realize that not every customer and every analytics solution can move to the cloud this instant. We want to make you feel comfortable that once you deploy your solutions using the Oracle Analytics Server, you can move to the cloud when you want and how you want. whether you want to do a lift and shift of your entire solution to the cloud, or deploy a hybrid configuration where some of your assets stay on premises and some move to the cloud, the Oracle Analytics Server will help you do that. And most importantly, every single OBIEE customer is automatically licensed for the Oracle Analytics Server. No new product to purchase, no new contract to sign, you already own it. Oracle Analytics for Applications. This is a really unique product, unlike anything out there in the industry. It is a complete end-to-end analytics solution consisting of a fully managed, lights-out data pipeline, a managed data warehouse, along with semantic models, reports, dashboards, all ready to use. This solution will initially target the Oracle SaaS applications, starting with Fusion, ERP, and HCM, and we'll add support for more and more applications as we go forward. Here's how it works. When you acquire Oracle Analytics for Fusion ERP and turn it on, the system will connect to your ERP instance and extract all of that data, transform it, and land it in a star schema inside the autonomous data warehouse. Moreover, we will stand up a highly curated semantic model, complete with rich semantics like hierarchies, KPIs, measures, and more. And we'll provide you with a rich set of out-of-box reports and dashboards that your users can start using right away. This is a SaaS solution. The effort required for you, the customer, is minimal, and you can get started with using it. Now, we know that many customers will want to extend and customize this solution. You'll want to bring your own data that lives in some on-premises system or a custom application that you might have. You might want to customize the data model. You might want to build your own reports and dashboards. And that's all OK, because this solution is built on two core platform technologies, the Autonomous Data Warehouse and Oracle Analytics Cloud. Using these two platform technologies, you can extend and customize the solution as you choose. When you look at analytics solutions out there in the market, they largely fall into two categories. You've got analytics platforms that give you a lot of power and flexibility to build solutions from the ground up. But there, you need to do all of the hard work. You need to build the solution from scratch. And then, when you look at analytics solutions that are packaged within line of business SaaS applications, they're turnkey. They get you going instantly, but they don't always give you the ability to extend and customize. So this solution with Oracle Analytics for Applications gives you the best of both worlds, SaaS and PaaS. With that, let's see the product in action. I'd like to welcome 16-year Oracle veteran Jacques Vigeant to the stage.
Don't you hate it when you're busy doing something really important and work just keeps getting in the way? Well, fortunately for us, Oracle, while we're busy catching up on the latest YouTube video, is keeping an eye on the business for us. And here we can see that one of our smart measures is reaching out to us through Slack and is telling us that maybe there's something going on with revenue and it's predicting a decline. So let's go ahead and dig in here on Slack to take a look at what might be going on. So you can see that the Oracle Analytic chatbot here actually did a couple of things. Of course, it gave me a visualization showing a trend of what's going on. But more importantly, or what's more notable here, is that it's actually providing natural language description along with the visual to help me synthesize what's going on. So here you can see that looking at sales, it detected that we have a steady increase, so we're good. But if you look at the forecast, we're actually starting to see a decline or predicting a decline, which is key here. So as a curious person, I'm going to go ahead here, click on the alert, which hopefully will take me to the dashboard. Here we go. And you can see here the smart measure, which is giving me the information regarding the prediction and trend. But what's interesting here is you see that as I was surfing around on my dashboard, even though I've looked at this dashboard before, the smart data suggestion is telling me, hey, you should probably consider this data, this new data that I found that should be related or useful in this instance.
How did that happen? How does the system know what data you might be interested in, or even what is the set of all data sets that are available to you that you even have access to?
Yeah, the smart data prep and smart data suggestion engine is always running behind the scenes and assessing what you're looking at. And here I was looking at revenue. I have products, product IDs, warehouses, IDs, and it's detected, hey, we have inventory data here from the ADW, and product information maybe from the Fusion SaaS source, and order information as well. You might want to consider mashing that up with your dashboard and really enrich your analysis. So for the sake of this demo, I'm going to go ahead and click on inventory data, product data, and just with a couple of clicks, you can see here on the measure pane here, the list of analytics or measures are already available for me to sort of explore. But the real thing I want to explore right now is what's going on with my trend, right? What can I do to sort of hopefully identify why it's predicting a decline in sales? And that's when I'm going to turn to the augmented capability that we call explain. So rather than hunting and pecking ad nauseum through all the dimensions and measures and trying to figure out what's going on and hopefully coming across accidentally maybe something meaningful, we have this explain feature that lets you just click on what you're interested in, forecast in this instance, and then invoke and explain, which does a couple of things. Here it's showing us basic facts about the forecast, which is interesting, gives you high-level information regarding data distribution. But what's more interesting to me is the fact that the system is also identifying key drivers for me. So it's looked at all the dimensionality behind the scenes and told me that really, channel, country, and product line are what I should start with.
Now, how does that work? I imagine there's some sort of algorithm that runs behind the scenes.
Yeah, there's a few things that we actually do behind the scenes to prepare this. The first, as we saw in the basic facts, we do some clustering and some data distribution algorithms to help you get a high-level sense of how your data is spread across the different dimensionality. We also do some classifications to help you find hidden groups of data within the measures and the dimensions. Also find correlations between the dimensionality. And in some instances, depending on what you're clicking on, we'll also do some decision trees to help you spot anomalies in the data. But for the sake of this analysis, I'm just going to go ahead and start an exploration on these three specific dimensions that it identified as key. So I'm going to go ahead here and add that to my dashboard. And just like that, now we can see that I've got a canvas ready for deep exploration. Now, a few minutes ago, we added inventory to this thing. So I'm going to go ahead and drag inventory onto my map to see how inventory compares in terms of related to sales, if you will. So just with a couple of clicks, I can now see how I'm performing, where there's availability of inventory. Overall, we see everything's pretty green, a couple of yellow things, and then one sort of freaky red thing in Germany. But let's take a look here specifically at the product level. And lasers are looking good too. But maybe something's going on with action figures. And sure enough, when you click on action figures, we can see that something over here in France, there's clearly some sort of inventory shortfall in France. But the good news is that there's plenty of green around France. You look in Spain, Italy, and in the UK, there seems to be plenty of inventory available. So in order to solve this problem, at least in the short term, why don't I just contact somebody in the London office or in the UK who can maybe reallocate some stock for me? So the way I'm going to do that, pretty straightforward. I'm just going to go ahead and click on my visualization and then initiate a Slack message with this person. And so I'm going to reach out to Sarah Bennett in this instance and ask her if I can reallocate some of her inventory to the French region. So I'm going to go ahead and hit post here. And just like that, I'm back in Slack here, and Sarah got notified that I needed approval. Attached with the notification was the analytic so that she could click on it and maybe go look at the problem herself. And it looks like she's replying right now. And generally, she thinks it's going to be okay. But just before, she pulls the trigger on this thing, she has a follow-up question, right? And she'd like to know, what's my sort of demand going to be going to be like in the next 3 months? And so without ever leaving Slack here, I can actually invoke the Oracle Analytics chatbot and more or less invite it to the conversation here and ask OAC to show us the sales and inventory forecast for London in the next 3 months.
So that's not just static content from OAC that's showing up in Slack. You're actually connected live to the OAC.
Yeah, absolutely. When you think about the holy grail of analytics is to ultimately not do charts and graphs, but to help people make better decisions, right? And if they happen to be in Slack when they're making decisions, why not push the information out to the user and not force the user to go back? And right here, we're seeing how our natural language processing capabilities can sort of look through the Slack channel, but we also support a multitude of other channels like SMS, Microsoft Teams, WhatsApp, Skype for Business, and on and on and on.
Cool.
So I'm going to go ahead and let the chatbot do its work here. And just like that, it's produced an analytic that's letting Sarah know that generally the demand looks fine for London. So she hopefully will approve this. And there we go. So now I'm good to go. All I need to do now is maybe invoke, or definitely invoke, the inventory transfer. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and go to the home page.
That looks like a new user experience. I haven't seen that before.
Yeah, we've heard from our customers, simplify, simplify, simplify. And in this upcoming release, we're releasing a new unified homepage that consolidates all the different types of analytics, whether it's pixel-perfect reporting, data flows, data visualization, or reports and dashboards that are created for you by IT. It's all in one sort of unified homepage. You can search, you can organize, add to favorites, do all of it in just this one place, this one-stop shop, if you will.
That's great.
But we went beyond that. It's not just the home page. We've also worked at unifying how the products look across the board. So you can see here that I'm in one of our traditional dashboards that was prepared for us by IT, and it has a unified look with the rest of Oracle Analytics Cloud and Oracle Analytics Server, if you will. Now, if we go back to my story, what I wanted to do is reallocate some stock from London to Paris, hopefully. And so all I need to do is come to this dashboard, and I can right-click on any of these meaningful elements. And in this instance, I want to transfer some inventory. So I want to transfer from the London warehouse 15,000 units, and I'm going to go ahead and hit execute here. And that takes me to the supply chain inventory transfer page. And it's taken my context from OAC, including action figures, which was the products, the quantity. It's logged me in, by the way, and made sure it's provided all the security information that the app requires. And now all I need to do is give it a destination warehouse. I'm going to go ahead and hit Paris here, and then hit submit. And then just like that, now the inventory transfer has been invoked, if you will. But the problem isn't really solved until it reaches Paris. And if you're like me, you're moving from city to city, or from office to office, or even just meeting to meeting, and you're not tethered to your desk all the time. And so one of the things we try to do is provide some continuity between the desktop, hopefully this will connect, between the desktop and the mobile device, whether it's a tablet or a phone, it doesn't matter. And so I'm going to go ahead and fire up the Oracle Analytic app and show you how somebody like me might want to sort of keep track of this from day to day. And so the first thing you see when you fire up the app is what we call the recommended smart feed, which is a list of analytics that the system has determined might be meaningful to me based on what's going on in my day, but also what's going on in the community, my peers at work, Maybe it's something my boss wants me to see, or maybe it's a message I got like this one from a coworker about, profitability over time. So that's great. And also you can see that it's aware of all the searches I've been doing on the desktop. But we also have a feed that's really targeted at me specifically. What am I keeping track of? What's important to me right now? And so what I'd like to do is I'd like to keep track of this inventory in France right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add to this feed simply by asking a question. Quel est le niveau de stock par produit et ville en France? So just like that, using my voice, I can ask a question, and then the system brought back a couple of visualizations to help me keep track of that. I can click on it, add it to my favorites or my feed, if you will, and now every day until I get the notification that we received the 15,000, I can keep an eye on what's going on.
So how does that work? So you expressed your question in French, but I noticed from the earlier part of the demo, the data, the metadata, and the semantic model, all of that stuff was in English. So how does it translate back and forth between these language boundaries?
Yeah, there's several things at play that the natural language processing engine does. The first thing is it looks at your question and then scours throughout all the data sets that we have to try to identify which one of these dozens or hundreds of data sets is most likely to have the answer to your question. And then once we identify that, we compare it to the terms that you have and then produce a query. Now, in this instance, I asked a question in French. My data was in English. My semantic layer was in English. So it had to turn to what we call synonyms. So we use synonyms for not only just different languages, but for example, some people called revenue is income, is sales. Different people call things differently. But at the end of the day, it's pointing at the same data. So fortunately, our synonyms infrastructure supports multiple languages, 28 to be precise. And so that's how we can relate a French question to an English data set and get you going.
Well, that's awesome. Well, merci beaucoup. Ladies and gentlemen, Jacques Véjean. Earlier today, I talked to you about starting a new relationship with you, our community. Here is our commitment to you. It revolves around 3 core principles: simplicity, transparency, and trust. We've already shown you how we're simplifying our product offerings under the Oracle Analytics brand. You've also seen from Jacques' demo how we're simplifying our user experiences, starting with the simplified homepage. And we're only getting started there. Today, I'm excited to announce the new simplified pricing for Oracle Analytics Cloud. Going forward, we will have just 2 editions for the Oracle Analytics Cloud: Professional and Enterprise. Professional targets business users and departmental use cases. Enterprise targets developers, IT professionals, and enterprise use cases, something that Oracle and Oracle Analytics has always been known for. That's all you need to know about pricing. I mean, truly, this is it. You don't need to take your user population, segment it across data analysts, data scientists, explorers, end users, and start counting them. A user is a user to us, regardless of how they use the product. If you're using enterprise, there is no restriction on the number of users that you can support. That's it. We want to be transparent with you, our community, in terms of where we're going over the next 6 to 12 months. With that in mind, we've already put out a public roadmap for the Oracle Analytics Cloud. It's on our website. You can check it out today. We're also going to release this new capability called the Idea Lab. This is a place where you, our community, can share your ideas with us. How would you like us to improve the product? You can vote on each other's ideas, and we, the product team, will take the top voted ideas and incorporate them into our product roadmap. Oracle Analytics Server will be generally available at the end of this year in Q4. And after that, we will put out annual updates going forward. Oracle Analytics for Applications will be available in Q4 of this year, starting with support for Fusion ERP. 3 months later, in Q1 of next year, we'll add support for HCM. But we're only getting started. We will be putting out quarterly releases where we continually improve the support for the applications that are already released. And we'll keep adding support for newer and newer applications, supply chain, CRM, NetSuite, and more. We know that when you, our customers, adopt the Oracle Cloud, you're placing your trust in us to operate your critical systems and protect your data. We take this responsibility very seriously. We're continually investing in improving the robustness, resiliency, and reliability of our cloud services. We're investing in systems that will automatically alert us when issues pop up, even before they affect you, our customer. We're investing in auto-remediation capabilities that will dramatically reduce the amount of time it takes to recover from an incident. We want to offer you, our customers, a world-class customer support experience. With that in mind, we've doubled the number of engineers working on customer support and customer success for Oracle Analytics. For certain classes of service requests, we've cut down resolution times by almost 10x. Security and compliance are of the utmost importance. We've put together a dedicated team and practices in place to ensure the strictest criteria for security and compliance for cloud releases going forward. It has been my honor and privilege to stand up here and talk to you about Oracle Analytics and where we're going. I hope you will agree this is, in fact, a new beginning for all of us. I look forward to continuing this dialogue with you. Thank you.
All right, so hopefully you're getting what you're looking for. We talked about quite a few things here. We talked about simplification and unification. We showed you the products, and we're also making it very actionable for every single one of you, where the pricing is no longer a barrier to getting you started. Now, you also asked to see how others were innovating with Oracle Analytics. And there's a common problem in our industry where, and we started talking about this earlier, this idea that analytics typically only gets to business analysts. There's still a lot of issues in getting to line of business folks. Now, Bhishma, who is the head of data analytics at Riverbed, is a leader in application management and edge computing. I met him 3 months ago, and he was grappling with this issue. He was telling me, Bruno, my business analysts, my data scientists, everybody's got access to more dashboards. That's really not the problem. The problem is this silent majority of people who are sales leaders, employees who don't have time to get trained, they're not even interested in building dashboards. And that's where I need to have a different approach. And what we've been doing has not been enough. So put our heads together, and he started now building a solution that he's about to show you on how you too can solve this problem at your own company. So welcome me and join me in welcoming head of data analytics at Riverbed, Bhishma Jani. Thanks, Bruno. All right.
Thanks, Bruno. Hello, everyone. So a few quarters back, when we embarked on our journey to digital transformation for our analytics platform, we evaluated vendors, top players in the market. And when we went through that exercise, we picked Oracle Analytics as our platform of choice because we found the coverage of capabilities was very comprehensive. We have a very diverse user base. our implementation enterprise-wide. We have finance users, we have manufacturing users, we have sales users, renewal users. It's extremely diverse. And when we evaluated, we saw that the capabilities were falling in line. And hence we move forward. Year to date, or decision to date, I should say, is we have successfully delivered our operational reporting on OAC. We have transformed our OBIE and moved to the cloud. But today, I'm here to actually share with you folks the stuff that is the most exciting thing in the last couple of months that the users have at Riverbed are really enjoying. I mean, this is really taking analytics to the end user. Internally, we call it your bite-sized metrics, your bite-sized daily dose of information. Business critical, helps you make decisions rather than just flashing a huge dashboard at you. So without further ado, let me just jump into the demo. And I'm just going to run the entire demo from my phone. The users at the company are getting more and more phone-driven and mobile, I would say, rather than going to your desktops and machines, essentially. So I'm connected to the, OK, there we go. So I'm going to jump into the day-by-day application, which is our channel of choice to give this information out. So I'm going to take on a persona of a sales executive. We have all worked with sales leaders. For them, quarter is their life. Their quota is what they live and die by. Their end of weeks of their quarter are extremely sensitive. They ask for data every minute, every hour, every day. And they just were fed up that, we don't want to chase 15 people to get our bite-sized critical business metrics every day in the morning. So this is with that user in mind. So my persona is a sales executive. It's top. I woke up in the morning. It's 2 weeks to quarter end. I want to see how is my bookings for this current quarter. So and the data that you see here is all scrambled. It's non-production instance, so you'll see big numbers, exciting numbers. But there is a difference between this and reality, which I'm not going to share, of course. So here I can quickly see my big number. I can see that for my current quarter, my booking is 133 million, which is great. I always like to see this number between now and end of the quarter, so I'm just simply going to add to my feed. So I never have to build this ever again. It just keeps showing this information till the end of the quarter. But this is not it. We usually run our business based on our major business units. So how are the business units performing? So I'm just going to pick my business unit and see how the information lines up. I quickly get the breakdown. I see here that my WAN-op SD-WAN, which is our WAN optimization portfolio of products, is the lion's share, which is true. It is our flagship. That is where we have expert capabilities, market leadership. So it's showing that is our lion's share, followed by Steel Central, which is our digital experience management framework. But our Steel app is picking up, which is a fairly new product, and it's doing fairly good. I can easily see each of those units and their contribution. Quick donut chart: 105 million, 24 million. So it gives me a good insight about the breakdown of bookings. But why stop there, right? I also want to see how are the geos performing, because EMEA always keeps promising, and I always see that their booking falls behind the US. So now what the app has given me is, I call it like the three-part view. The one-part view is the combination view, which is it takes your bookings and gives you an intersection of by business unit, by geo. That's the first chart right there. And then you'll have independent donut charts for each of those other criteria. So I can see the first one is by my business unit, and the second one is by my region. The chart that, however, I'm most interested in is the combination view, because I can easily see for each of my business units the distribution of bookings by region. Now, some of these observations are very obvious. Americas is doing really well. Big orange there in WAN-op. It's doing really well in Steel Central as well. Purple seems to be EMEA. But here I see this small chart, which is very hard to read. That's when I invoke this insight feature, which is similar to what Jack showed. I think it's explained kind of feature. And I love this particular feature because it summarizes that information for you on your phone. It's hard to process graphs on your phone, but it summarizes the detail for you. And the part that I like the most is my lowest performers and my highest performers. So I can easily call out like my Steel Central Xeris is doing really bad. I have no bookings. That's definitely scrambling, by the way. So it cannot be this bad. However, for Van Op Americas, it's again number 1, followed by Steel Central Americas number 2, and Van Op EMEA is number 3, which is not what EMEA promised me. So I need to have a conversation with my EMEA leadership around why we are lagging behind as far as our Van Op business is concerned in terms of bookings. So this is great. This insight view helps me digest this graph really well. I love this graph. I'm just going to add again this to my feed so that it's available for me and I don't have to rebuild again. With everything said and done, I still am way behind my quota. 133 million booking for this current quarter is not going to cut it for me. I'm $60 million short to my quota. So what next I would like to see is, how is my sales funnel looking? Like, do I have enough in the tank that I can consume or mature over the next few weeks to get to that 60 million? So I'm just going to go and see my funnel. At Riverbed, we have our jargon, so we call stuff split amounts and geos and forecast categories and such. This is very much specialized for us. So the idea is I'd like to see how much is available for me to close so that I can make my quota. So real quick. And this is going to give me my sales funnel, essentially, in a couple of minutes. So it's counting. Wow, awesome, 10 billion. This is great. I mean, this is awesome. Oh, it's still counting. 15 million, excellent. I think somebody scrambled data just now. So it tells me that I've got a lot of funnel, huge funnel, but that doesn't help me because you know how sales reps are, right? Like it is, everything is sandbagged, everything is put in the future and stuff like that. So we call at Riverbed our forecast categories basically segments of your sales funnel. So I want to see how the whatever 16 billion that we saw is organized based on forecast categories. So I get the chart and it tells me that my best case is 31 million, which is good, 487. My close disclose, I don't care. Commit is 50 million, so that's my 50 million, great. Committed 50, I'm only 10 million short of my quota, amazing. And my pipeline looks, my best case looks really healthy, from which I can easily scramble and get 10 million. So I think I'm good with my quota here. So I get the visual I'm looking for, I get the information I'm looking for, and I'm satisfied with these results. But why stop there again? I want to see how my geos are performing. Again, my friends in EMEA, my bad. Whoops. I have it. So that was a classic case where I erased the criteria and it's available in my previously run scenarios. So it was great to return back. I'll look at my EMEA, my geo-based numbers to get the EMEA breakdown. And in a few minutes, I should be able to see how my EMEA team has been performing. Again, it's the same 3-part view. You get the first chart, which is a combination view of the information, and the 2 donut charts for each of the criteria, right? So I'm going to go to my favorite chart, and I'm going to see that my best case, closed, commit, omitted, and pipeline is organized for me. The dark blues are Americas, and public sector is, wow, doing really well in terms of pipeline and best case. But where is EMEA? EMEA, it's right there. It doesn't show me the kind of performance that I was expecting. So definitely that message to the EMEA leadership has to be sent out immediately. So I like this view. Again, I added to my feed, and it's all now going to be available in my feed, which is right here for you. So this is the information that I built while we were doing this demo, and it's now going to be available for me. and I can just keep looking at this on a daily basis. So this is how quickly, in like 6 minutes, 7 minutes or so, a sales executive can get to that information, get some quick observations, and then come up with a sort of game plan of making changes during a quarter to make the numbers, to get things adjusted, to close on time, and so on and so forth. But wait, I have one last thing. I still need to text my EMEA leader to talk to him about how do we get this thing sorted out. So I'm going to share this image. Whoops. Oh, Bruno, you? I'll send to both of you. And just like that, it's been sent out. And that's pretty much all. Thank you, guys.
Bishmarjani, thank you so much. I didn't receive the text. Ben, did you receive the text? Yeah, I did. So I guess you're going to have to solve his problem. But I think, Bishma, you have a career in sales. That was quite amazing. Now, you notice there's a theme here. We saw in Jacques' session that he was saying the French people are not doing so great. Bishma, we need to talk to the European leaders. We love our European customers, right? These are all jokes. They're demos. None of this data is real. And in fact, I want to tell you the story of Connie. So a few months ago, I was in London meeting some European customers there. And London was very cold and windy in January. But Connie was the warmest person in the room. And the reason why he was so warm is he was really excited about what he had just achieved. You know, one of the issues that I think many of us have is this idea of disparate data sources. You have data on-prem, you have data in the cloud, you also have data in Oracle systems, but you have data in SQL Server, other databases, as well as outside of your firewall. And so the question is, how do you bring an integrated solution to your business users? And Connie had just rolled out a complete solution using Oracle Analytics. And his energy was so amazing, his enthusiasm was so contagious that I knew at that point I couldn't just keep it to myself. So help me in welcoming to the stage our head of enterprise architecture at Skanska, Connie.
Thanks, Bruno. Hello, everyone. So, as Bruno said, I'm going to show some examples of what we can do with information coming from different sources and using Oracle Analytics Cloud for that. So, what I want to start showing off is the data flow capabilities in Analytics Cloud. So, we're going in and checking a data flow that I built earlier, and I'm going to open it up. So what we see here is quite a simple data flow where we basically get data from three different source systems. So the first is, so Skanska is a construction company. So this is a data set coming from on-premise Microsoft SQL Server, holding a lot of project sort of master metadata around projects that we've done. The second data set is coming from a cloud service that we have for health and safety incident information. And the third data set actually comes from an external meteorological institute in Sweden. So that's weather data. So what we do here is then combining this data together to get one resulting data set that we will then analyze and get insight out of. So we do a simple join here first. We join the master metadata for the projects together with the incident data. So what we can see is that in this case, we join it on project ID and make sure that we only end up with sort of matching rows in the data set. The second join we do is when we also then add the weather data to this by joining date of incident together with date of sort of the weather that we have. The next step we do is we move over to selecting which columns do we want in this resulting data set. So we get up all the columns and we have them on the right side, and then we can pick and choose which we want to keep and which we want to remove. So what we can see on the left side is a couple of fields that I've removed here that are redundant. The last thing we do is we make sure we give it a name, the data set that we're going to look at later. We can also then check the different measures and attributes in the resulting data set, especially looking at the measures. Do we want to have them summarized, or like if we look at the weather data below, we want to have average on those things. Then I basically say my data flow and then run my data flow. That then creates, if I go back to the data area here and look at my data sets, I can see that we have a resulting data set here. Like I showed you, the project safety demo data set. So what I do now is basically just click it, and I'll come up with this picture, empty canvas. So what I can do here is, of course, start picking and choosing on the left side and dragging it out and start visualizing this information. But as we've seen before, Jacques demonstrated, we can also use the augmented capabilities of Analytic Cloud and use the explain functionality. So looking at type of incidents here, for example, and using the explain functionality, we get a good starting point to do this analysis. So we can see here first we're seeing the split between the different type of analysis incidents. And if we look a little bit further down, we can see correlation with weather data, for example. So let's pick a few here. If we look at the bottom here, so we can see, okay, correlation with snow depth. So this is not California data in this case, it's Sweden data, because we have a lot of snow there. So let's pick the snow one, let's pick the temperature one, and let's pick the different type of incidents here, the split. And I'll bring it back to my canvas. So now I have a good starting point. And if I want, I can continue with these different visualization types here. So for example, I kind of want to change this from a donut to a stacked bar chart maybe. And why not add, let's add weekdays to this. So we can see the split of these incidents during the week. Okay, so Mondays seem to be a problem for these incidents. I'm going to do a small safe harbor like Bishma was doing. This is scrambled data, but nevertheless. But Mondays is definitely an issue here, I see. So I can save this dashboard, this canvas now if I want. Quite easily. Let's name it demo in this case. What I want to do next is show you a little bit more of an extensive set of dashboards that I built earlier. So I go back to my home page. I can see here on my home page that we hopefully have the demo one that I saved. I don't know where that ended up. Yeah, it's there, the demo one. Yeah. But looking at the top, I have my favorites here. So let's open this project safety demo project that I have. And first I want some more real estate here on the screen, so I'll pull away the columns on the left side of the screen. So the starting point here is we look at a quite large data set. So it's around 11,000 construction projects in 87 different countries, 2,000 cities, 7,000 customers. We can see on the map here, we cluster them in sort of regions, cities. Around the world, and to the left we can see the different market segments that Skanska is working in, and the number of projects in those different market segments. So the next step would be maybe if I'm a regional manager, for example, and I want to look at the safety information here, the safety incident information. So next step would be, okay, so I'm a regional manager, I'm responsible for Stockholm in Sweden. I have around 180 projects in that region and 140 clients we can see here. We're looking at what we call potential fatality incidents here. So not necessarily actually an accident. It could just be a very severe incident that we call potential fatality to sort of get that real, proper view on these things. It's really important in this industry to make sure that all my colleagues get home every day from work. So here we have a word cloud to the right side where we can see sort of different cause of these incidents. We can see the split of different types of incidents and the percentage of how many. I mean, we can see we have an issue here with slip, trip, and fall incidents. To the right here, we see sort of similar to what we looked at before, but instead of weekdays, we're looking at the whole calendar year here. So again, we can see that this is Swedish data because all the incidents go down enormously during June, July, and August, and that's where, you know, when all the Swedes are on vacation. So Sweden is basically closed during that time. Further down, we can see correlations with weather data. So looking at temperature and precipitation in combination with number of incidents. And we can also look at the day level, so hour per hour. And apparently Mondays are really an issue, Monday mornings and Monday afternoon. And even like in the end of the week, Friday starts picking up in number of incidents as well. What's really great here with Oracle Analytics Cloud is that I can pick something here on this dashboard. For example, let's pick this peak over here and just click on it. And then I get cross-visualization marks in all the other visualizations. So by clicking there, I can see that, okay, that's incidents related to Friday afternoon. It's incidents related to July, in the month of July. We can see that the biggest cause in this case of these incidents is risk condition related. We can also see that it's fall from height in this case, the type of incident. So this is also a very easy way of finding a lot of information on your dashboard by just clicking somewhere and actually see how it correlates with everything else. Next step would maybe be to move further down and look at one project. So what we've done here is we're still in Stockholm. We picked one project, and this project is related to the market segment called offices. We can see where the project is located on the map here. So it's actually very close to where I live in Stockholm. What we can see also on this dashboard is, you know, the percentage of incidents and how many of those incidents we have Skanska employees related to those incidents or involved in those incidents. Subcontractors, that's a big portion for Skanska. We work with many subcontractors. We can see the cause of incidents. We can see the correlation with weather at the bottom here. And that's actually end-to-end. So this is a closed or delivered project. So we can see the end-to-end of that whole project timeline and how that correlates with weather information. We can also see then that in this case, in this project, again, we see issues on Monday mornings. So that's heavily red here. And we can see the different types of incidents for this project. So this is a very easy way to start digging into this information by using OAC. So that's what I wanted to show. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Connie.
Thank you.
You taught us quite a few things here. You know, I learned a few things from Connie's demonstration, so I had to write it down because, well, first, obviously, if you don't want to get injured, go on vacation. I guess that's lesson number one. Lesson number two is the weather has clearly some impact, especially on Sundays and possibly on Monday. It bleeds over if whatever happened during the weekend. Actually, it was kind of interesting because I had to write this down. The majority of your incidents came from slip, trip, and fall at the same level. So not just going over stairs, so it must be really cold out there. Well, thank you so much for doing this, Connie. Many of you have asked us to hear from others what their best practices are and how they succeeded. So what are their secrets on how they got all these solutions deployed? And so what we're going to do next is we're going to bring 3 customers, and we're going to spend 15 or 20 minutes going over their use cases. So join me in welcoming to the stage Derek, Matt, and Val. I'm going to try to impersonate you guys online as well here, and since we're not taking any questions live, but I want to encourage everyone to connect with each individual here, either in person if you're on property or online. So that's why we're going to keep those pictures here so people can hit you up on LinkedIn, okay? Few things we're going to do. We want to understand their context, so you guys understand their industry and their use case. We want to understand why you chose what you chose. There's a lot of options in the market, and also best practices, maybe things you learned and things that you wouldn't do if you had to do it again. So Matt, I'm going to start with you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and the company.
Sure. So I grew up in upstate New York. I was born in Canada. Relocated to California just 2 years ago. Grew up playing hockey on the pond and had the opportunity finally in California, ironically, to play in a organized fashion.
So you play hockey. You're East Coaster, moving to the West Coast and playing hockey, and you're surrounded by two East Coasters.
Yeah.
So this might turn into a disorganized hockey game. Val, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I grew up in New York City, but my father worked for the United Nations. I was born in Bangkok, then we moved to Lebanon, then we moved to, probably the most exotic place on earth, Brooklyn, New York. I live now in Phoenix, so I've been kicked out of every decent place I guess I could think of. I run FP&A for Western Alliance Bank. That's actually one of the top 10 rated banks, commercial lender, in America.
That's excellent. What about you, Derek? You're still on the East Coast,
I'm
right?
an East Coaster, through and through. New Englander, through and through.
New England, okay.
Yeah,
and then what do you do at Upfront Media?
I moved an entire 100 miles from Boston to Connecticut. I'm crazy.
You love risk.
I'm risky. So I've been with some semblance of Upfront Media for 16 years. I just recently, that title's actually pretty new. I just became Data Strategy and Analytics VP, mostly due to the success of the products that we chose with Oracle. We're one of the largest out-of-home media companies in North America.
That's great. Well, first, congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you.
And let's then continue. Then tell us a little bit about your deployment and how you got started and where you're at today.
Sure. So 5 years ago, we were spun off from our parent corporation, which was CBS Corporation, and it left us with a huge amount of reporting needs. Before we were tucked in, kind of underneath the mothership, and it was like, just hit revenue. That's all you need to do. We're happy. But now we had all these new reporting needs. Ironically, we have a brand new company, but we had 15 years of data that we brought with us, which was something unique. But we were struggling to get that data consumed. So we embarked on an analytics project 4 years ago. And we didn't have a data center. We didn't have a lot of money to spend. So after doing some analysis, we went with Oracle Cloud, BI Cloud Service, and Database Cloud Service at the time.
And how many users do you have today using the system?
We have over 700 now.
700.
Yeah.
And you have 900, right?
Yeah.
Matt, tell us a little bit about your story. How did you get there?
So I joined Adventist Health in June of 2017. We were in the middle of what we called our business transformation. We were centralizing services. We were replacing platforms. We had AS400, if anybody's heard of that, in place.
We remember.
30 years on a single platform. We went all cloud-based. So we implemented Oracle ERP in the cloud, Oracle HCM, AP, fixed assets, all at once, big bang. So we have 20 hospitals. We did it all at once. So,
all in the cloud.
Yeah, still recovering, I think, 2 years later. But as part of that, I came on board. We centralized all of our support functions to a shared service model as well. And analytics kind of came after the fact for us. We were trying to solve for system-wide reporting in a centralized platform. And so that's how I started the OAC journey, pulling together Oracle data from all of the other cloud implementations we've done.
That's great. What about you, Val? What's your story?
So back in 2013, we consolidated 3 bank charters into one, and so we consolidated our general ledger into one package. The general ledger, a Fiserv product, also came with a planning budgeting service, but it was extremely difficult to implement. We spent about 9 months trying to figure it out, and eventually we had to abandon the project, which left us deep into the budget season without a budget. So we quickly turned to PBCS, and we were able to implement PBCS from zero, start to finish, 9 weeks. So we were hooked on cloud service. After that, we realized, in addition to the traditional grid-based reporting we do, rows and columns, we wanted a BI front end. When I came into the bank, I came from Chase. We were a Tableau shop, and I had my heart set on Tableau because I loved it. It's a wonderful program. But I learned something sitting at Western Alliance, and that was I had to think globally what was better for the firm. So Tableau and any of the other products, we had a bake-off, MicroStrategy, et cetera. Great at what they do, but that's the only thing they do. OAC, all of the Oracle applications are going to be bundled into one piece that's going to benefit the firm, and that's the direction we decided to go to.
That's great. What about you guys? Why did you choose Oracle Analytics? Matt, you could go first.
All right.
You're just fighting for why.
Yeah, it's gonna be a hockey fight.
Yeah, seriously. We have the gear. They have everything here.
So for me, it was the partnership and the platform we talked about a little bit earlier. We had already selected several cloud products, and now I had to solve for getting data together in one place. And the partnership with Oracle and trust that that was going to be the best long-term solution, kind of like you talked about, with multiple solutions, so self-service, some tools for our analytics team, the BI platform, all in one place, and also the shared learning we already had from our other Oracle products and how that could translate with the team members being able to work in this environment as well.
So that's the breadth and then the know-how as well. Now, in your case, Derek, you didn't even have a centralized database. You had 15 years worth of data, a lot of data. So what's your reason for going to the cloud, and how did that work out?
Well, it was a bit of leap of faith when I suggested it. And as it turned out, within 5 weeks, we had dashboards in our sales director's hands. So that just kind of started the ball rolling. We just kept producing more and more. We'd get more sources, produce more reporting. Our finance team wanted in on it. The real estate division wanted in on it. So
wait, so you started with sales. So what was the plan to deploy, and what actually happened?
So we were going to test the waters year one, like a little bit of sales, maybe 50 users, and then ramp up over 3 years. That was our plan. We ended up, by the end of, in year 2, we had 700 users.
Okay.
3 major customers of mine, finance, real estate, and sales, all in on that. And then just the natural progression of being in this on the cloud, we just recently in January moved to OAC.
So that's an interesting perspective, right? Is once you take the leap, or you jump into cloud, you can pick up adoption a lot faster than you would have in a traditional.
Right. I mean, it was not something that people really thought to know in our company. So when we delivered it, it's become, it's just become something that they rely upon every day.
Yeah.
And then we can just, with OAC, we use ADW now. So just the product lines are just fit nicely with what we're doing.
So you're in a situation where you're in IT supporting the business. Now you're in the business supporting everybody else, right? Matt, how many people do you have supporting those 900 people?
We have 3 technical support staff, and I'm in FP&A as well, so we don't have any IT background, any of us.
Okay.
So
you went through the roof, and then you're able to support that many people with very few of them. Valentino, you learned a few things while you were going through the deployment as well. So tell us a little bit about your move to OAC there.
Yeah, so we early adopters of PBCS and cloud-based, and we thought when we rolled in OAC and we would have unlimited access to whatever data set we wanted. That's the key to this.
Yeah.
We were stopped cold in our tracks by IT security. That's their job, and we were like, why aren't you letting us, giving us access to data? And sad, but kind of funny, we often had to leave the building, go across the street to Starbucks to get, Starbucks Wi-Fi access into OAC because we couldn't go through our own firewall. So, after doing that a few times, we brought back Starbucks to the IT security guys to smooth things over.
So that's definitely, you wouldn't say that's a practice, that's a step on your deployment. Don't go to Starbucks. Starbucks is not
Get
involved.
the croissants and the coffee first. Bring it to IT
and then come
security.
back in. Derek, you as an IT person, I'm sure you must be very pleased to hear.
I'm not IT anymore.
But tell me about that. Tell me about that. So
side.
one of the big things, I think one of the big secrets as well is not just how you deploy it, but how you approach it. And so to be able to go so fast in the adoption, what's some of the secrets that you use there?
So we were really embedded with the business. I looked at it as a service. These are my customers. We're not IT. We're in this together. We want our customers to succeed. We want to be in on the decision making. We want to help shape the direction that they're going.
Yeah.
So we kind of eliminated IT as a
terminology,
and we're services now.
So what are you called now?
Technology services.
Technology services.
Yeah.
All right, well, we've got a lot of best practices here. I want to encourage you to connect with the three of them and obviously the customers that you saw today. Thank you guys very much for taking the time.
Thanks.
And now we're going to move to our ecosystem. So if you think about what makes you successful in a deployment, obviously it's the software, and we have a role to play in that, and it's best practices. We want to make sure that you can connect with other folks in the community without us being in the room. That's how we're going to scale. And so it's important that you connect directly with everyone. And it also, you need to be able to take advantage of the ecosystem, the partners that are building solutions, that have consultants out there that can augment our capabilities. And so for that, I want to bring to the stage first Joey Fitz, who's the global head on my team in product management, works with partners and the community, and he's going to have these partners tell you a little bit about themselves. Joey?
Excellent. Excellent. Thanks, Bruno, and thanks all of you for being here today. It really is a privilege to have you here and very exciting to be able to share with you our renewed commitment to customers and partners. We've been listening to our partners and customers and learning from you, and it's exciting, as you heard earlier today from TK, that we're restoring these relationships. We've got incredible solutions from our partners who work with our customers. So having all of us here together on premises, and also for those of you who are online, it's a great community that we're building between customers, partners, and Oracle. So we just heard from customers, and they shared their stories of how they've achieved success. Oftentimes that's with a trusted advisor who helps them to get there quicker. So it's my honor to be able to bring to the stage three different leaders in the analytics industry. And they're leaders in a couple of regards. One, they're leaders as organizations. Each of these three companies are in the leader quadrant for Gartner's Magic Quadrant for data and analytics solution providers globally. They're also leaders as they lead the teams who focus on analytics. So you're going to hear directly from the partners now as they're able to share with you their expertise and how to get you there faster. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Rich Solari of Deloitte, Hema Kadali of PwC, and Todd Randolph of KPMG. Welcome, guys. Thank you for being here.
Sure.
So maybe by way of introduction so that folks can get to know you and know about your firms a little bit. Todd, why don't we start with you? Would you mind just give an overview of your organizational structure and capabilities and a bit about what you guys do?
Sure. Thanks, Joey. And it's great to be here, and I'm glad to see a good turnout today. And my name is Todd Randolph, and I'm a partner at KPMG, and I lead our Oracle analytics practice for the U.S. Our focus is really pretty simple. It's how to help our clients make better use of their information in decision making. And at a high level, we think of that at really three levels. We look at what we call transactional analytics. So using tools like OTBI and getting the information immediately to users to help them implement and augment their decisions through their business processes. We also look at what we call strategic analytics, where we're really focused on pulling data together from multiple data sources, where we're using tools like OAC and really allow users to get that data that they need at the right time to actually pull through and assist in decision making and look at actionable analytics. And then lastly, we look at what we call advanced analytics, where we're using AI and machine learning to predict the future. And we look at ways that we can allow our users and customers to change the outcome, change that future, whether it's reducing headcount or, reducing turnover to increase your headcount of your top performers. It could be looking at your supply chain and where you have risk in that supply chain and how you can reduce that overall risk.
Excellent. Hema?
Yeah, thanks, Joey. My name is Hema Kadali. I'm a partner, and I lead our Oracle analytics practice for PwC. In terms of our go-to-market, right, we really look at our customers. We listen to our customers, and one of the most important things we heard from them was that they're getting the business value out of the analytics. I mean, people are spending lots of money. I mean, we see basically analytics spend is increasing exponentially, for the last few years, and they really wanted to see some value out of it. So at PwC, what we look at is that the predictable value that's coming out of these analytics solutions that we are implementing it. So what we look at is that in terms of achieving that, there are three pillars. One is that the data platform, obviously with Oracle and OAC, it's a great platform there. So we want to basically make sure that we implement a platform that's scalable, that's performing it, and that's also flexible, right? So those are the components we look at it from a data platform perspective. The second one, we call it as analytics to AI transformation. So we see that the BI is not just producing reports and dashboards. It's really getting into that next layer. You know, we talked about augmented analytics, advanced analytics. So kind of giving that capabilities and empower the business to kind of use that information to generate analytics from that, right? So that's the second one. It's really from analytics to AI transformation, so using machine learning and things like that. And the third component we think about is that the governance, right? Because our customers, I mean, obviously we're getting the data from all different sources, so the governance is the key component of it, right? Those are the three things we really focus on it, right? In terms of the approach, we take it as PwC, we call it as BXT. It's basically business capabilities, business value. X is the X factor. It's all about user experience. We heard a lot about simplification, user experience today. I mean, that's the key. And third, obviously, is the technology enablement. So that's what we do.
Excellent. Yeah. Thank you. Rich?
Thanks, Joey. So good afternoon, everybody. And my name is Richard Solari with Deloitte. And before I get started, for any bets that are going on, it's a Boston accent. I just want to start right there. It's a Boston accent. So I hold two roles in the firm. The first is I am the global leader for Oracle Analytics, responsible for driving the vision and strategy and direction for all of the member firms across the globe. And then I am the national practice lead here in the US, responsible for making sure that all of our clients, many of whom are in the audience right now, are successful in the implementation of the analytics platform. So I thought maybe I'd just spend a couple of minutes today, because I know there's a lot of questions on how we're actually organized and what we do. So within the firm, the practice is organized in two sort of components. One is a market offering, and that's supported by number two, a talent group. So we actually have four market offerings. The first one is called Data and Analytics Modernization, and that's where all of our cloud analytics and legacy analytics work goes on. The second one, which is a significant growth area for us, is around robotics and process automation and all the support we do for all of our Oracle implementations around robotics and automation and bots, etc. The third market offering that we have is around advanced analytics and AI. And all of our advanced analytics capabilities and our AI and all of that is actually out of that. And then the fourth one, which is a significant market offering for us, is around managed analytics. So any of the long-term analytics implementations that we manage are done out of our managed analytics group. That is actually supported by a talent group, and we have four talent groups. So first off, the US. Our US supported practitioners for projects are only domain and industry expertise. So we're not really sending any practitioners from our US practice on the projects. The world has changed. We focus on sending in industry and domain expertise. We support that with our cloud analytics delivery practice that is based out of Lake Mary, Florida, and that's our, what we call our Oracle Cloud Delivery Center. And so all of our cloud work goes on there. It's phenomenal for us because many of you in Oracle, we bring you on site, you work in our cloud with our practitioners, we can bring our practitioners off site very quickly. On site, it's very nimble, it's very agile, and it works very well. The third part, of course, is our offshore subsidiary that supports all of our work that goes on offshore. And then the fourth one, which is really new for us, is really the fact that we are in hyper growth mode and we are focusing in on digital practitioners. And so it's very difficult for us to find talent, the type of talent that we want. I'm not looking every day for just pure OBI EE practitioners anymore. I'm looking for practitioners that understand the Oracle analytics ecosystem. And so To find those, it's very difficult. What we've been doing is we've been building out, really focusing in on digital practitioners, really where we're building them up, we're spinning them up very quickly, they become part of the practice, and that's working really well, and that's a new area for us.
Thank you. So as you can hear from our partners who work with our customers, they really have the breadth of not only geographic coverage, but also expertise across the different categories that we've been talking about today. Analytics now covers such an expanse of the technology platform through data science, through collaboration, all the way through the apps. As you heard earlier today, augmentation, integration, collaboration, they're able to bring all this together for you across all the different systems that you're using. So this supports the message that we've been talking about better together on our Oracle offerings, but open to the different systems that you have within your organization to make sure that those get you to the analytic success you're looking for. So, having said that, can you briefly talk about the solutions and assets that you've built that help customers to get there faster in terms of reaching their success? And Rich, why don't we start with you?
Sure. So I have zero interest in building products. It's not what we do as part of the firm. It's not what our clients should expect from us. Our clients should expect us to come in and help them solve business problems first and use the Oracle platform to solve those business problems. And so one of the things that we really have a significant opportunity in is the access of the firm, the deep knowledge of the firm, people deep within the firm who are experts in specific areas of industry and domain and know how to solve problems. And so what we've actually done is we've invested very heavily over the last 4 years in building out the next generation of analytical applications that sit on top of OAC. So we actually have 3 of them. We have one for workforce, we have one for finance, we have one for supply chain. And they're next generation applications, meaning they have next generation KPIs. The workforce alone has over 600 KPIs that are specific to today's needs of organizations and talent and HCM and workforce. We have data visualizations that solve very specific problems. We have AI predictive models that are built in that come with the platform that solve very specific things. We have natural language processing. Those really are key and core to our tenet of what we do around applications. The last thing I think is you heard, I think TK talked a little bit today about some of the new analytical applications that Oracle is actually coming out with. What we've been spending a lot of time working with Oracle on is really figuring out how to plug our analytical applications into their analytical applications so we can provide an expansion model for our clients to expand from Oracle into the work that we've been doing and just expand that much more.
Great. And Hema, I know you've been doing a lot of work also on solution development.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we actually have an apps marketplace out there. It's called marketplace.pwc.com. So we built lots of basically analytical apps, both on the predictive side as well as adaptive side. So we build a lot of apps there. I think similar to what Rich said was basically what we do it is that when we look at OAC, there are 2 things. One is that we have a lot of expertise from a business and industry perspective. So some of our clients, for example, utilities or retail, they wanted specific solution targeted to their industry. So what we do it is we basically take whatever Oracle has built it and kind of configure or customize whatever to those specific industries. So whether it's extending their models or bringing in some white space model. For example, in utilities, you see like the safety is a big thing, right? So we basically bring in those models to augment whatever you guys have, right? So that's another way that we kind of look at it. And we also have, if you look at from a PwC perspective, we do 3 lines of services: assurance, tax, and consulting, right? On the tax side, obviously we have a lot of expertise, a lot of knowledge. So we do a lot of needs from our customers on the tax reporting side, tax analytics, transfer pricing. So these are the areas that customers are really looking, treasury reporting. So they're looking for areas where we have a lot of expertise in that. So we build models, we build solutions, we build dashboards, KPIs, all that kind of stuff. And similar, again, on the supply chain side, we have a platform that we built. We call it as supply chain optimization platform, which has got a lot of machine learning, AI kind of algorithms there. We have on the workforce side, we have a Saratoga, which is basically the benchmarks that we've captured it by industry segments. And we use that along with the Oracle Analytics, kind of, support our customers so that they can compare their metrics versus the industry standard benchmarks, right? On the customer side, we have an insights platform. So again, similar kind of thing from a segmentation perspective, lifetime value perspective, we build models. And the way we work is that, again, take whatever OAC is provided, kind of augment that, and extend the models to it.
Makes a lot of sense. Todd, the powered enterprise.
Yeah, so KPMG Powered Enterprise is an approach. It really transcends analytics. It's an approach we utilize for basically large transformational programs. So it could be HR, finance, technology, supply chain, and analytics is a component of that. So we've built out what we call Powered Analytics, and it's a series of leading practice use cases, if you will. How can you use analytics to better your business processes globally? We've pulled, just very similar to what you guys have done, we've actually pulled expertise from our field. We go out to supply chain, finance, and tax professionals and look at leading practices and where we can utilize metrics to help better make decisions for our clients. And we bring them to our clients day one. So it's not standing up in front of a whiteboard and figuring out what you should be measuring, how you should be measuring it. It's here's what leading companies are utilizing today. Why won't this work for you? And then how then do we take what we've learned about you and then maybe add the other 20%? So it's really bringing to bear a toolkit, if you will, and a whole series of metrics, measures, and use cases for our clients to utilize.
Fantastic. As you mentioned, you were talking within your own firms and talking to customers to know how to add value, and it underscores the community that we're really trying to build here, not just as a software vendor, but collaborating with you on your journey to analytic success, to where you actually have impact within your own company, and hopefully, like the gentleman we heard earlier today, that you get promoted in your industry and that you're succeeding more. And we can only get there by listening to our customers, to our partners, and listening to each other. And that's the interaction that we're looking for. Last thing, can you share with the audience what you think was noteworthy as you heard everything we announced today from a customer's perspective? What do you think it means for them, and were there particular highlights that stood out? Hema, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, I think one word, whatever I've seen today, it's really exciting. Okay, I mean, I've been with Oracle, I've been doing the Oracle projects for the last, I would say, 10, 15 years. But I think what I've seen today is really, really exciting. Okay, I think our clients, our customers are really looking for 4 things. One is simplification. Okay, simplification from an end user perspective, simplification from a pricing perspective, simplification from an infrastructure perspective. I think you guys have all addressed fantastic there, right? The second example is the self-service, right? Business and wants to do self-service, right? It's not just basically creating dashboard reports. What Connie demonstrated was basically pulling that external data and building the models on the fly and the producing reports and dashboards. That's exactly what the customers are looking for it. And the third one is the collaboration, right? Because I do some analytics. I wanted to share that with the rest of my community, right? I mean, that has been definitely a big ask from our customers, and I think you guys addressed it. And fourth one, last but not the least, is the AI and automation. I think all the things that you guys have demonstrated from a chatbot's perspective, natural language processing, NLG, I think they're all what our customers are looking for.
Fantastic. Todd?
Yeah, so I second all of that, but I'll add on simplification was a big one for me. I mean, product looks great, easy to use, but to simplify the messaging and your go-to-market is huge. We used to spend a lot of time helping our clients understand what product do I need to do what, and now that conversation just goes away. It's more along the lines of OAC is the tool set, and here's what we can do with it.
Excellent. Rich?
Yeah, so maybe I'll bring it home for us here, right? So I think as my esteemed colleagues talk about, and I think it's really important, simplicity, right? For all of you that are customers of Oracle out there, most of you are not looking for the next bread box. Most of you are looking on how to get to the existing bread box that you currently have and make it easy to get access to. And we, as your SIs, are looking for the same thing, simplification. I think you heard from all of us. To me, that's like the biggest. Simplification, and I think the team here has really gotten that message and has really, really done a great job, and you're going to see some great things, number one. Number two, I'll just quickly take a little bit of a spin down memory lane here So when I met TK, and I know some of you heard me talk about it last night at dinner, but when I met TK about a year ago now, we actually had 45 minutes on the agenda to spend with each other. And TK sat down, and being a shy, sensitive guy from Boston who doesn't like to chat and talk.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, exactly. He actually spent 4 hours with me, 4 hours, of which I probably spoke for 3 hours and 30 minutes. He may have said, excuse me, I need to go to the restroom, I'll be right back. But he sat there and listened to what we had to say, what was going on out in the field, what was the message from our clients, and what needed to happen going forward. Oracle has a phenomenal ecosystem of analytics. It really does. And when you get it to sing and dance, it's incredible. But here's the difference between past and today. I really believe it's no longer an Oracle first. It's a customer first mentality. And that is critical for all of us in this room because, look, we're all here because we care about Oracle Analytics. And so that has changed, and you can see by all the things that we're doing, it's great that we're all here, and this is wonderful, but it's really important. And so I think, you know, for me, I think that's just awesome. The third thing I think, what was Oracle always known for in the analytics space was their analytical applications. That is what created the white space. That is what Oracle was really, really known for many years. When you talked about Oracle, it was the cream of the crop around the analytical applications. And with a phenomenal platform of OAC that's in the cloud that can do a lot of great things, and you've seen from customers today, and you've seen from Oracle and what it can do, and it can do a lot more. The analytical applications, to me, are one of the most exciting things that are actually coming out, because that's really what's going to help Oracle create that white space again and really power up the OAC platform.
Well, I appreciate that, and I'm glad you came out of your shell and were able to communicate. I know you're nervous about talking today, so thank you. It's a good step. I really want to thank you guys for the feedback you've given us, the education you've provided us in getting to know our customers better, and also how you add value. It's all part of the customer journey between our offerings, the capabilities you bring, and their success. So keep giving us feedback. How about a round of applause for our panelists? Thank you, gentlemen. So I'll just conclude this section by mentioning a couple of things. We have a global partner community. And the partners who are here on premises today, on property, we joked about on-prem and cloud, on property. There are many partners who are here today, and today at 3 o'clock, we want to meet with you in the John Muir room, so I'll host that, and I'll see you there, and look forward to more of your feedback directly here. And for those who are online around the world, we're going to be having analytics advisory councils with each of you, and we look forward to meeting with you soon. So with that, I'll conclude my section and hand it back.
All right. Thank you, Joey, and thank you for our partners. So hopefully you had as much fun as I did going through this section here. We talked about product innovation across augmentation, integration, collaboration. Augmentation, we saw explain. Integration, we talked about how it integrates with Oracle applications, but this is about the applications and the data that you love. So when you hear integration, also hear openness. And collaboration, you saw about integration with Slack, because ultimately when your systems work together, your people work better together. All these things that you saw today, the simplification, the unification, it's not by luck, it's not that we came across those ideas. You gave us those ideas. So we are listening and we want to engage with you. So obviously for the folks that are staying here today, you've got much more to experience. We have product tours, we have concierge sessions, so we want you to enjoy that this afternoon. Online, for the folks that are listening to us, we want you to connect with us. We want you to engage. So go to oracle.com/Oracle Analytics. And if you're unclear about what we announced, you'll see all the material there, the description of the products, and so forth. And hopefully we can hear from you on social and LinkedIn. So this concludes today's session. For the folks that are online, I want to thank you for sitting down and taking the time. And may the force be with you.